You're listening to What's Hot on NCCU AudioNet.
It is What's Hot with Shamai Cook. I am Shamai Cook, and I have a special guest with me today. He is the 12th Chancellor of North Carolina Central University. It is Dr. Johnson O. Akinleye. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Chancellor. Welcome to What's Hot. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you.
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, I want to commend you so much for, doing so much for this institution. You announced that you're retiring, after so many years at this institution. But we're gonna get into that a little later in the interview. Let's start off here. You have a master's and bachelor's from Alabama A&M, and you have a PhD from Howard University, the HU. They say that that's the real HU, allegedly. People say Hampton is really the HU, well, allegedly, but that's it.
That's the real HU.
But talk about your experience at those institutions, at those HBCUs.
Very good. Well, thank you so much, and I'm really impressed with what you all are doing as a student.
Thank you.
And this is a very good opportunity for you to get hands-on.
Thank you.
It's having graduated from two HBCUs. I call myself a proud alum of two great HBCUs, Alabama A&M and Howard University. As a student, I felt that going to an HBCU prepares you for a world that is that you're not familiar with, and for the world of work, it gives you all of the skills that you need, not just the academic skill. It is a place that nurtures. It is a place that molds. It's a place that shapes. All my experiences, both at A&M and at Howard University, prepare me for what I am today. In terms of my skills, in terms of my experience, in terms of who I am and knowing who you are. We used to say that, going to an HBCU, you're not just a number. And that is very true. You have professors who take great interest in you. You have staff members who tend to nurture you very well and prepare you as a wholesome and well-rounded student when you come out with your degrees. So
you appreciate that time.
I really appreciate that. HBCUs are an affirming place for African Americans. As I mentioned, not just preparing you academically, but preparing you mentally, emotionally, physically, and academically. You come out a well-rounded individual.
Absolutely. So you've been in higher ed for a very, very long time. You worked at Bethune-Cookman, Edwards Waters, UNC Wilmington, and now
Bowie State.
Bowie State, and now NCCU. Was your goal always to be the chancellor of NCCU? A chancellor of an institution?
Well, as my primary goal was to become an educator.
Okay.
Went to school, came out of a family where my father was a principal, headmaster. Grew up in a family where my siblings are all well educated. And my primary goal was to become an educator, to be able to touch and transform the lives of students, to achieve their dreams. So I started out at Bowie State University as an instructor, a professor, assistant professor. Left Bowie State, went to Bethune as a department chair of Mass Comm and the director of the Mass Comm program. Served as a dean, served as associate provost, associate vice chancellor for academic affairs. Left there, had a brief tour at Edwards Waters College as the chief operating officer and as well as vice president for academic affairs. From there, I went on to UNCW, where I was the Associate Vice Chancellor for Academic Programs. And from there to NCCU as Provost, and ultimately as Chancellor. Now, the question that you ask, was it always my dream to become a Chancellor? It's always my dream to serve in the administration of higher education. I've always wanted to move from the classroom to administration and to help to shape and the type of education, the type of services that we provide for our students. And I've been very fortunate to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, Dr. James E. Shepard, who founded NCCU, one of his promises was to give a quality educations to all students who came here. How do you feel you and your administration fulfilled his promise today?
Absolutely. As you well know, Dr. James Shepard had a very, very noble beginning as a pharmacist himself and as a businessman. Yeah. Took upon himself to found a university to educate African Americans, to give them the opportunity that they didn't have at that time. As you well know, at the time, there were limited options for African Americans to pursue higher education. So Dr. James Shepard founded this institution for that purpose, to educate and to transform, and so that African Americans can go on into the world of work and become a productive citizen. Now, with me, throughout my career, one of my major goals is to be able to touch the lives of African Americans, help them to transform themselves into productive citizens. So when I came here, my goal was to continue that and to continue to uphold the vision of Dr. James A. Shepard. As a result of that, I came up with the phrase, the Eagle Promise. Yeah. And the Eagle Promise is one that tells our students, what is our promise to you? Our promise to you is to continue the vision of the founder, to prepare you, to give you quality education, so that you can become, a productive citizen. And in doing so, we give you 4 tenets to that promise. One, that you will come over and graduate in 4 years. We try to prepare all of our students and suggest to them that coming out in 4 years would help you to curtail the cost of education and to be able to get to the workforce much sooner. And 2, to also be able to develop in yourself leadership skills that are needed for you to be successful in the world of work. One of the major soft skills that employers do ask for all the time is leadership skills. So through our co-curricular activities here, we try to emphasize to our students that you need to engage in co-curricular activities, internships, such as what you're doing right now, and to prepare you to develop those leadership skills. And the other thing that we try to do to help to continue the vision of Dr. James Shepard is to say that, look, we want you to be market ready when you live here. What does that mean? Being market ready means that you have to do everything while you're here, inside and outside of the classroom, to prepare you to be able to secure that first employment, that first job upon receiving your diploma. We don't want you to go back home and stay with your mom and dad again.
You want to go right to the workforce.
We want you to go right to. So we made a promise to you that if you do all of the things that we ask you to do, you prepare yourself, you do internship, you engage in co-curricular activities, and you will be able to secure an employment the day before or right after you receive your diploma. And if you're not going into the world of work, we want you to be ready to go straight into a graduate school or a professional school. That's what we meant by market ready. Gotcha. And of course, the last tenet in that promise is to say that we now live in a global world. And we want you to be able to operate on an international scale, to be a global citizen. And in doing so, we would expose you to a lot of activities, engagements, cultural events, that will prepare you to become a global citizen. Many of our students, as you know, do come from rural areas. Many of them, the first time they come to a big city is when they come to NCCU. And so preparing you to engage on an international stage, to travel, to see cultural places, arts and culture and music and all of that. We want to prepare you to become a global citizen. So those are the 4 premises, and that's how I continued to foster and to promote the vision that Dr. James C. Shepard laid down when he founded the university.
You know, HBCUs are getting a lot of attention from mainstream media. What kind of impact does this attention affect HBCUs? How do you feel about that?
Well, you know, and it's good that we are getting attention because HBCUs have been in the business of educating not just African Americans, students from, you know, low socioeconomic background, you know, students of color, and so HBCU is always promoting diversity.
Yeah.
And nowadays, most corporate organizations are looking for diversity in their workforce, and therefore, would you go if you're trying to find? You know, you'll come to most HBCUs, and we can provide not just provide diversified workforce. We also provide very quality, highly prepared, you know, individuals who happen to be, you know, people of color.
Yeah. You have led NCCU to record numbers in enrollment, fundraising, and investing in campus security. Why were these initiatives so important to you in your administration?
It's a great question. In 2017, when I became the Chancellor, we laid out a number of objectives that we believe are very, very germane to the success, you know, of the institution of our students. We made student success our number one priority. In order for us to be able to do that, we wanted to create a safe and secure campus environment. Mm-hmm. At the time, we had some challenges with crime in Durham. Yeah. That was seeping into the campus. And so we made a determination to invest heavily in campus security, safety and security. In fact, we spent roughly $3 million plus dollars on that. And as you well know today now, that our campus is one of the safest campuses in North Carolina and in the nation generally. Even though we are still an urban institution, we live right at the heart of Durham. And we've done things here on campus that you know, protect the safety of our students. You know, our dormitories, card entry. We have all card entry now. We have cameras all around the campus. More than almost 1,000 cameras everywhere on campus. We have strengthened campus security, campus police. We have partnership with the Durham Police Department to have some jurisdiction in the streets, the public streets that border our university. So we did that because we wanted the students to be safe, and we wanted to be able to tell the parents that their students will be safe if they come to us. So that was number one. And we did that, and I'm happy that today, as you walk around this campus, our students are pretty safe. The second thing that we did is we also wanted to build a campus for the future. Most of our buildings, as you will find in many HBCUs, are aging, and they've been built so many decades ago, and it's always a significant challenges with repair and renovations. And so here at NCCU, we wanted to have top-notch facilities for our students to live and to learn. And therefore, we decided that, okay, we need to build additional residential halls because most of the ones that we have were aging. And at one point, we were putting students in hotels. And we realized that that was not going to be sustainable. And so we went ahead and entered into a public-private partnership, and I'm very happy to say that we were very successful with it. We built 3 additional ultra-modern residential halls. I'm sure you probably live in one of them. And in addition to that, we want to create a place for our students to be able to engage with each other. And we built a new student center, which is a state-of-the-art. If you go there now, you'll see students engaging and spending time. We also are just finishing a new school of business, you know, which is state-of-the-art. You know, we have all of the new technologies there, you know, the stock exchange, the cybersecurity lab, innovation lab, venture lab. We did all of that because we wanted to be sure that when our students come here, they get the best hands-on experience, both inside and outside of the classroom. And so look around today. The other thing that we did was because we are live in a food desert. In other words, around the university, we didn't have a lot of retail services, and we wanted to make sure that our students stay on campus. And therefore, we brought in more than 10 retail services on campus to support our students and to provide for them what they need without having to drive off the campus. And you can walk around the campus now. There is no national retail that our students do not enjoy.
Chick-fil-A, Panda.
And what does that do? It keeps the students on campus. You know, if they love where they live, if they are satisfied with where they are, they're going to learn. And that's exactly what we're getting from our students now.
So that was your objective.
It was part of the objective that we one, create a safe and secure campus. Two, build for the future, and we've done that, as you see. And three, we also want to expand our academic offerings, our academic portfolio. In the last 5-6 years, we've added more than perhaps 10 new degree programs, both at the graduate and undergraduate level. We also want to reach out, we want to create access for students who do not have the opportunity to come to the campus, non-traditional students between the age of 24 and up. And so we created the nccu.edu online, which is very robust, and we have a lot of degree programs at the undergraduate level and the graduate level that are totally offered online. In fact, 40% of our graduate students are totally online now, and it makes it flexible for them, it makes it convenient for them to be able to work and to be able to earn their graduate degrees. Same thing with undergraduates. I think we have more than 10 bachelor's degrees now that are totally offered online. So those were parts of some of the objectives that we set out to achieve, and I'm so glad to say that we've achieved all those objectives.
Absolutely. Parking is a kind of a big issue, on campus, not just at this institution, a lot of HBCUs. What have you done to find a solution, to make parking accessible and affordable for students and, faculty here on Central's campus?
That is a very good question. As you know, parking is almost a challenge everywhere, not just at HBCUs, even at some PWIs, because of limited space, particularly here at NCCU, because we are so landlocked. I mean, you can walk around the campus. There are no vacant lots for us. And even in building new facilities, we're having to purchase homes, and to use those homes to build, the facilities that we need. So as far as parking is concerned, we have limited parking right now. We have a parking deck, and we are in the process of trying to see how we can acquire more buildings there, because there are no vacant lots at all. And so in order for us to be able to do that, we have to buy more homes to create not just a surface parking, perhaps maybe another parking garage or parking deck. That's in the current master plan, and that's probably going to be something that the next chancellor would have to focus on. But yes, certainly it's a challenge. Most schools, as you well know, sophomores and freshmen and sophomores are not allowed to drive on campus.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of limited space, not just at an HBCUs. And if we have one of the things that we did here a couple of years ago is I asked them to readjust the cost of parking for our students, particularly in the parking deck. And I think they lowered the price for them at that time. But still, it is still a challenge because we have more folks with cars than space. So my advice to students is, look, in the first year, second year, try not to bring a campus. Try not to bring a car to a campus. I know you use
it's my scooter.
Your scooter, because I've seen you on it. Bring a scooter, bring a bike. It's a good form of exercise for you, and it helps us to really manage the limited space that we have for parking.
Absolutely. Last semester, the campus went under a cyber attack, which caused the campus to lose internet access. What part did you play in the process of getting the campus internet back to normal?
I'm really very thankful for the dedicated staff, our IT staff, who are so dedicated. the cybersecurity intrusion, we're not alone in that. Even bigger corporations have suffered intrusion from cyber attacks. So it was unfortunate that we were attacked, but due to dedicated staff, we were able to manage and to work through that very quickly and very rapidly. We did a number of things. Right away, we shut down our entire system. We went dark so that we can contain the attack, so that it doesn't paralyze us right away. And we limited access to the campus system by EOL and all of our university Google applications. We had to reset all passwords, for faculty and staff. We re-image all campus computers and laptops. We completely wipe them off and re-image them, and so that we can contain the spread, of the attack. And then we gradually, slowly started restoring those services back. Our application, our printing services, Eagle Labs, Banner 9, and Canvas. And our staff worked throughout the Christmas holiday.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
We also were very fortunate to have the UNC system that fully assisted us, and plus the task force that came to campus. I'm really very thankful for the partnership that we had with the FBI, the U.S. Secret Service, and North Carolina Department of Information Technology, and other partners across the state that came here and pitched on our campus to help us to recover. We didn't suffer as much damage as many other institutions that have been attacked in the past, and so we're very thankful for that. But it's because of the dedicated staff that we have that went to recovery mode as soon as possible. And today I think we are almost 100% back into our normal service. And we've come out even more resilient now with our system. And now our faculty members, students, they all know to be very careful as they navigate the internet. Yeah.
Last month you announced, in a statement to, the public and to NCCU community that you are retiring after over 30 years in 37 years in higher education as the Chancellor of North Carolina Central University. Why was it the time now to retire?
Well, there is not a what you might call the right time. After having served, as you mentioned, 37 years in higher education and half of it in upper administration, having done all of the things that we've discussed in contributions and making strides and moving the university forward, you get to a point where you feel that it's time to retire and do other things that you haven't had time to do in the 37 years that I've been here. So I could have done it next year before. It's just not. I just felt that it is the right time, because right now the university is in good shape. Enrollment is good. Fundraising is good. Academic programs, expansion, infrastructure expansion. The university is in a great place for handing over to a new person to move on. So I think it's a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. What are the top things that you are most proud of during your time as Chancellor here at NCCU?
A lot of things I'm very proud of. We've talked about some of them, but the most important that I believe achievement for me was really creating a safe and secure campus. It was the biggest challenge when I came into this job. I mean, it was so bad that we were having bullets go into our dormitories. Roughing, third floor, Eagle Landing. I mean, it was so bad that I was concerned for the safety of our students. The students get across the street, they get robbed, people walk onto the campus, and you can't have a robust and progressive campus, if the students are not safe, it affects everything. And so the fact that we went to work, we were determined that we want to make sure that the campus is safe. We invested in technology, in staffing, and engaging all partners, and we've made the campus very safe. That to me is a great achievement. When people come around now, when parents bring their kids and their loved one to the campus, I can say to them, your child is going to be safe on this campus, and that is the number one priority. If you are not safe, you can learn. So that's one of my biggest achievements, that students feel safe moving around. Now, that doesn't mean that, we still live in a world that is dangerous.
That's true.
We still have to practice, common sense, safety all the time. But we are at a point now that if somebody were to come on this campus and commit a crime, they will be found immediately. They will be ID'd, because the campus is such place now that that can occur. The other thing that I also so proud of is really in terms of our infrastructure. When you have aging infrastructure where students are having problems with roof leaking, mold in the dormitory, not all of these things are essentially caused by people, again, because buildings are just old. And you keep on repairing and maintaining them, it's subject to those kind of disruptions. So the fact that we were able to bring our housing to a level that is adequate and decent for our students, because when they come here, this is their home for the next 4 or 5 years. We want them to be comfortable. I'm not saying that we don't have, issues here and there.
But everybody has that. So no one's perfect. Right. Yeah, I understand what you're
But the very, very satisfying thing about housing on campus now is that I don't hear a whole lot of complaints from students anymore. And we have to continue to do that. So those are really major accomplishments that I think we should be very proud of.
This year, a lot of students had to live off campus due to lack of availability. Even though you're retiring, I know you're about to go off to the sunset. Do you have plans to address the student body for your successor to take over in the fall for these, to make sure everybody has housing for undergrad?
We have a board of trustees, as you well know, that work with the Chancellor to try to set a clear strategic direction for the university. We have a master plan that is still in force, a 10-year master plan that sets what the university should look like in terms of space and building and landscaping and all those good things for the next 10 years. My hope is that our my successors will look at that plan, and everyone, would want to develop some sort of vision, but look at what we've put in place and for the next 10 years and determine what the next priorities are. As we are growing now, you can see that we now have 40% of our students who live on campus, not because they want to, because there aren't affordable apartments around the university. You go downtown, you go to South Point, these are very expensive for our students. And so if we have adequate housing on campus, they would love to live on campus. And we also know through research that students who live on campus tend to have a better connection to the university, and they tend to do very well. And so it is my hope that the next administration will continue to make the expansion of our infrastructure, particularly student housing, part of their number one priority. And I'm sure the Board of Trustees will continue to emphasize that to the new administration. And again, our enrollment is also growing. Last year we grew by 5%, and this year we are slated to do maybe even better. So our brand is very good. Students want to come here. They want to come here, but unfortunately, we're not in a place where we have acres and acres of vacant lots where we can just build. And so we have to be creative, we have to be intentional, and we have to be focused. and we have to be able to step out to engage what I would call creative means to do the things that we wanted to do. Engage, private partners to come over here and to assist us to do the things that we needed to do, particularly with housing. Right. So while I'm not going to be addressing the new person, but because of the work that we've done in the master plan and the strategic plan, there is almost some sort of a roadmap right there that they can follow. And of course, want to put their own vision on the map as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
You in the statement you said, "quote We take with us a very foul memory of an institution that has riches, tradition, and legacy, and will continue to make great strides in champion education for generations to come."
Absolutely.
What type of legacy are you leaving here at NCCU?
Well, I think from what we've discussed and from what I shared with you earlier, part of my life's work is to be able to help students to transform their lives. When students come to us, to be able to graduate, go on and go into a productive, work and productive life. NCCU has a great history in that respect. We have so many graduates who have come out here who have become just very notable citizens. We can name so many of them, and it is my hope that that will continue, and that is the legacy that we leave here. That this university is here. Whoever, no matter who sits in that chair, will continue to foster that legacy of preparing students, of educating them, and making them become, a productive member of the citizenry. So that's really what I was referring to there. And I'm sure, for 110 years we've done that. And that will continue, hopefully, after my departure. Yeah.
What type of vision? What's your vision for NCCU after you leave?
That NCCU will continue to thrive in all of the areas that we've mentioned. We'll continue to bring in students who aspire to get, a quality education, not just an education, a quality education. We'll continue to mold and shape, students to becoming, again, helping them to transform their lives and that of their families and the generations to come. That's my hope, and I know that we've done that. We'll continue to do that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Last question: what is your plan for retirement?
That's a good question. Well, as you can imagine, after 37 years of service, there has not been a break for me. It's been many years of work. One, I want to just spend time with family, do some travels, and then pick up some hobbies,
Okay. Golfing,
swimming, tennis,
biking.
biking. In fact, just got a new bike.
You got it.
I got it.
Okay,
Yes.
we were talking about that earlier in the year. You got the bike.
I got electric bike.
Okay,
now.
good.
And I'm gonna bring it to campus one
Okay,
day. So
okay.
I'm gonna ride it around.
Me, you can have races on my school.
We need to do that.
Yes.
I bought it. I bought it in December, and so there's so much to do. Right, my wife and I want to do some travel, spend some time with the family, and then of course we'll determine what to do with. If we get bored, there are so many things that you could do. But for now, we're looking forward to just spending time together, spending time with the family, and just doing things that we haven't been able to do in decades. Yeah, and we're gonna miss you. Absolutely. You have been just a wonderful student, and you need to continue to do that.
I will.
Doing everything that you can. When you come to school, you got to do more than just go into class.
Yeah.
Okay?
Absolutely.
You got to take advantage of every opportunity that's around you, both in the classroom and outside the classroom. You've been a very engaged student. I've seen you around the campus, and I'm so proud of that. Yeah, you're going to really, and you too.
Mike.
Absolutely, Mike. Okay. Thank you. Anything else that you want to know?
No, that's all. That's all the questions I have for you
Well,
today.
you did a good job. I'm impressed.
Thank you so much, Chancellor Akinleye, for coming on What's Hot. It's What's Hot with Shamai Cook. We should be back.
You're listening to What's Hot on NCCU AudioNet.